Okay, so I was gonna sit in my chair for this video. I was gonna sit in my chair, do the whole camera chair thing, and it's gonna be that whole dramatic thing that I do every now and again when I talk about something a little bit more serious. But my room is a little bit of a mess. I'm a little bit of a mess, and overall, I don't think I want to do the chair camera thing right now. Some of you probably know what I'm talking about if you've been on the channel for a while. Thank you if you know that, by the way. We reached 6,000 subscribers recently, so thank you for that as well. But today we're going to be talking about the Ponytown fake apps as well as the Ponytown official app. Now, I made a video like this a long time ago, but there's been some developments. There's been some new news about these fake apps. I'm pretty sure there's been a whole third new one. I can't remember if this was an app back in the previous video when I made a video about it and everything like that, but there seems to be a new one. We'll get into that a little bit later. There's been this whole scam and everything like that, but for now I want to talk about the Ponytown apps and things like that. So if we load the Google Play Store, which I'm loading on my desktop, by the way, so it won't look exactly like this, but these are the apps that will load if you go to the Google Play Store and search Ponytown. Now, there are 4 Ponytown apps on here, which have been confusing the absolute shit out of everyone that is a Ponytown fan and want to download it on the App Store. Now, I don't know why you want to download this on the App Store. I honestly have no fucking clue why you'd want to do that, because it works in literally all browsers, ad-free and everything. If you have Safari, Google Chrome, the Opera thing, the Firefox, I'm just naming random browsers here, but there's like a million browsers. If you have any browser, regardless if it's on your phone, regardless if it's on your tablet, it should work. You should be able to type in pony.town and it will bring you straight to this page right here. Obviously, it won't show Skeleton, but it'll bring you straight to this page here. And then you can start playing. All you have to do, you don't even have to do anything after that. You can just hit save and play as soon as you load it, essentially. Well, you have to make an account, obviously, but it's very simple. As well, if you want to, there are ways to add this to your home screen. Sometimes you can do that. I think it only works on mobile, actually. But if you have like a mobile device, there's ways to like make an app shortcut or whatever for different web pages and things like that, and Ponytown is no exception. You can go to Ponytown and you can turn it into an app yourself, and all it is really is a shortcut to your browser, so that's kind of a different thing than what this app is. This app doesn't technically load it up in your browser. The official app, which I'll load it up on screen right now, this is the official app, by the way, so don't get confused by anything. This is the official app. This works completely in your phone. It won't redirect you to your browser like some of the other apps do or anything like that. It just plays right then and there. It's the same game as what everyone else has. So again, there's not a huge incentive to download the Ponytown app, because you can just play it wherever you are, however you want, because it's a web browser game. But if you do want to download the app, download this one right here. It is called Ponytown-Social MMORPG. If you search Ponytown in the App Store, it will come up, but you might have to scroll a little bit and scroll past all the unofficial ones. Again, you can tell it's official because obviously it'll have this icon, but it will also be by Ponytown Team. You can see who owns the app by literally just looking at it. It will have the name, and then right underneath it, it will show who developed the app. So that's how you can tell this one is official, because it is by the actual Ponytown team. Hopefully in the future there will be an actual direct link on the main page, but only time will tell if that ever happens. But again, this is what it is. This is what it looks like. They have some nice images of what the game looks like and what you can do in it and things like that. They have a very large description of the game and what it's like and everything like that. And then of course they have different reviews here. And if we actually scroll to the bottom, I'm actually surprised by this, but it has 50,000 installs already. It hasn't been up for very long, but that's very exciting. The fact that it's already at 50,000 downloads. Hopefully it will surpass some of these fake Ponytown apps sometime soon. And hopefully these fake Ponytown apps will get removed from the Google Play Store, because these fake Ponytown apps, which I'm showing up on screen right now, are not only violating Google Play's term of service, but some of them are just straight up violating the law, such as this one here. Now, I'm not sure how much the other ones are doing with like law and everything like that, but this one has been confirmed to actually legitimately be breaking the law, and I'm going to explain that here now. So this app contains ads. Every single one of these fake Ponytown apps contain ads. That's another way that you can tell it's fake, because they contain ads. That's how they're making their money. That's how they're making money off of Ponytown. If you ever go to the main Ponytown game, if you ever play the Ponytown game and you see ads, it's not a real game. But if you play the Ponytown game and there's no ads, then you're playing the real game because it doesn't have ads, and Ponytown will never have ads in it. So yeah, look for the little thing that says contains ads. If it's on there, it's fake. If it's not on there, it's real, such as this one. But again, this app here by Eternity Software, out of all the 3 fake apps, which I've shown you here, this one, and this one. This one right here, Eternity Software, is breaking the law because they are legitimately scamming people out of their money. Like I said, it contains ads, but it actually has a service somewhere in the app that allows you to pay Eternity Software to remove the ads. They have a subscription service that will allow you to remove the ads if you pay them, but this is where the scam kicks in, and they don't actually remove the ads. You pay them whatever it costs to remove the ads, and then they just don't do anything. The ads just stay there anyway. So they're actually legitimately scamming people. They're taking your money and not removing the ads, which is what you're paying for. So they're scamming people that way, which again violates Google Play's term of service, not to mention the fact that all 3 of these ads are violating the terms of service anyway, because they are redirecting you to a different game or a different website, which is against their service unless they have permission, and none of them have permission. So of course they are under fire for that. But of course Google doesn't care. These apps have been reported a million times by Ponytown staff and Ponytown friends of staff and things like that, and they're still here. Google Play is really just Google in general is really pooping the bag on this one. Sorry for the weird language there, but they're really messing this up here. But moving on, more information about Eternity Software here. They have went to some of these other ones. I think it was this app, and as well, I think they might have done it to this one as well. But Eternity Software has actually gone to some of these other apps and left reviews on them. And they have left very threatening reviews, basically saying that they need to get off this platform or something like that. And they've said some very threatening things, obviously in other languages that have been translated, so there's probably some loose translation there, but they have threatened some of these other apps and things like that. So take it that way you will. So that is, again, another thing that is violating the Google Play terms of service. Another thing about Eternity Software, and probably some of these other apps as well, but Ashes Town, believe it or not, Ashes Town, because all of these fake apps, by the way, you can go to different custom servers and things like that, which I find hilarious that this actually still says Durgan Town, because Durgan Town isn't a thing anymore. As well, Ashes Town doesn't look like this anymore, but that's besides the point. Ashes Town specifically had implemented a feature where if you were using one of these fake apps, you just couldn't play the game. You could not access Ashes Town whatsoever through this game, because Ashes Town implemented a feature to detect if you're using one of these fake apps, and if you were, it would lock you out of the game and completely negate any chance to play the game, unless you go back to your browser and play it the proper way. In response to this, in response to being locked out if you use their app, Eternity Software was like, oh shit, well, we'll just rework our system. And they reworked their system and countered this feature by creating their own feature to bypass the detection. So now you can play Ashes Town if you're using one of these fake apps, because they implemented their own features to bypass it, to completely bypass this aversion to being able to access the game. So now you can access the game and everything like that through these apps because they changed their system to completely bypass it. I hope that makes sense to you and everything like that, but we're going to move on to something else. So I'll put it up on screen now. Here's an image. This image has gone around a little bit as well. I've seen this on Twitter in response to Ponytown's apps and things like that when they announced it on Twitter. But Ponytown is currently detecting apps such as Eternity Software's app and some of these other fake apps and things like that. And when they detect it, they give you this message that pops up for about 5 seconds, maybe longer or whatever like that. And basically it tells you that, hey, you're playing an illegal version of the app. Please go to our official app or go to pony.town or whatever, and it gives you that little message. And basically it's trying to tell you that, hey, don't use this app because it is trying to scam you. It could potentially be stealing information from you, because it's technically impossible to know if any 3 of these apps are stealing your information or not, because there's no way to detect that from outside sources or anything like that. It's impossible to know. See, this is another thing right off the bat. I didn't even know this was a thing, but right off the bat you can see that this app is basically directly asking you, hey, we're going to collect personal information about you for ad impressions, which means they're saying right up front that, hey, to use this app we have to collect personal information on you, like where you live, or like what you're doing in the game, what you're saying in the game, different things like that, and they're going to collect that information and they're going to sell it to advertisers to advertise you different things in the game. And any three of these apps could just be like, oh, you logged in with Twitter? Now we have your Twitter password and we're going to sell that to this guy. Like, technically that could be happening and you have no idea. I'm not saying that is happening, but technically it's possible that they're doing random shit like this. So it's extremely dangerous to be using these apps, even if you don't care about the ads, even if you don't care about the moral implications of the fact that they're scamming people and scamming Ponytown and violating terms of service from Google Play and everything like that. If you don't care about all this shady shit they're doing, that's fine, but at least care about the fact that there's a very large security risk in using any of these fake apps, because there's a strong chance that they're stealing your information. It can't be ruled out, essentially. If you're using one of these fake apps, Ponytown will give you a message saying, hey, you're using an illegal version of our app. Here's where you can download it. Here's how you can play it. Use that instead of this. And then about 5 seconds later, you'll be able to exit out of the... Eventually, they will be able to remove these fake apps from the Google Play Store, and they will never show up again or anything like that. But hopefully as well, these apps will not try to subvert detection again, which if they do will be a big and a whole nother issue. But moving on, I said at the beginning of the video that I made a video about these fake Ponytown apps in the past, and this goes back to Eternity Software. If you go back and watch that video that I made a long time ago about the fake Ponytown apps, I was in the chair, whatever, talking about them and everything like that, and you actually, if you go and watch that video, you can actually see me live on the video downloading this app by Eternity Software and then actually playing it as well to show people that, hey, look, there's ads all over this thing. This is a terrible version of the game because of this, and that, and everything like that. And I was basically showing you guys how this app functions and what it's doing and things like that by downloading it and showing you step by step of all these crazy shit that it's doing. So I downloaded this app. I left a review. I remember at the end of the video, I told everyone to leave a review, that I was going to leave my own reviews after the video and everything like that. I may have even included in the video, I don't remember, but I left a review on Eternity Software's app. I downloaded Eternity Software's app. But for some reason, somehow, and this is so shady to me, and so suspicious, and so crazy to me, but somehow Google Play doesn't know I've downloaded this app. And also, my review on this app is gone. And this is the only app out of the ones that I downloaded for that video that is like that. If I go to this other one by the Rafu GS or whatever, this Russian one, my review is still on there. October 28th, 2020, it's still on there. Because your reviews show up before all the other reviews, so that's how I know mine is gone from this one, as well as I've already clicked the 1-star reviews and searched through every single one of those. I could not find it. But you can see, like, I left a review on this one and it's still there. I downloaded it and it still knows that I've installed it. It knows I've installed it previously. It's not installed anymore. I don't know why it says installed, but it knows I've installed it. But this one, it doesn't know that. It's almost as if this app was relaunched or reset in some way that made it to where my data on its download is gone and my data on its review is gone. Now, I know it's most likely possible that they can just delete any reviews they want, and that's possibly what they've done. Maybe by deleting my review, it just triggered some kind of bug, or maybe it's like just a feature where if you remove a review, it removes the install or something like that. I have no idea, but it's very suspicious to me that I gave it a 1-star review. It was very similar to this one that I left on this app, where I basically called them out and everything like that and stuff. It's very suspicious to me that both are gone, and that's so odd to me. How is the install gone? Like, how do you do that? I've never seen that before on the Google Play Store. I've never seen that before, and that's extremely suspicious to me, and it almost freaks me out a little bit. But that is another weird thing about it. That's probably another violation on Google's terms of service and everything like that. I have no fucking clue. But there you have it. That is pretty much everything that is developed about this so far. Apps like this Eternity Software one, and you're probably wondering why I'm focusing so much on this specific fake app when there's 2 other fake apps. These other fake apps obviously are violating things, and they need to be review bombed and removed off the App Store and things like that as well. But they are not as bad, at least so far from what we know, as Eternity Software, because Eternity Software is the only one that we know out of the three that are legitimately scamming people out of their money and all this other shady, crazy shit. So that's why I'm focusing so much on this specific version of the app, or this specific fake app, because it is violating so many rules, so many laws, and all that other jazz. So take of that what you will. It is making so much money. Like the people that run this app are making so much money because of that scam. Google Play is making so much money from this app as well, because obviously they get a cut of all that stuff. But this app right here, if you click an ad, they make money. Same thing with all these other fake apps, but if you click an ad on an app, they make money for that click. Even if it's by mistake, they make money for that. If you try to buy their fake subscription, they make a lot of money off of that, and so on and so on. They're making so much money off of someone else's game. It's so fucking bullshit, and I hope this clarifies to everyone that have been confused. I've actually still gotten comments about, oh, Ponytown released an app, but it has ads? Why? And I've seen reviews and everything else. So many people are confused. So many people are like, why the fuck are there 4 Ponytown apps? Which one do I download? So many people are so confused, and it's actually legitimately annoying and frustrating. Not because they're confused, well, partially because they're confused, but because they're confused by the fact that there's actually legitimately 4 of them, and only one of them is actually real, and only one of them was recently released on the Google Play Store. So I'll leave the video on this. Try to review bomb these fake Ponytown apps. Try to report them. I think reporting them is more important than trying to review them, but try to report these apps, especially this one by Eternity Software, because they are legitimately scamming people, and they need to be stopped at all costs, because this one is the worst of them all, and it needs to be stopped before they scam too many people out of too much money, and things like that. Review bomb these 3 fake apps. Try to report all 3 of these fake apps. And if you are very curious and you want to download it, it is only available on the Google Play Store right now. Maybe a long time in the future, something like that, it'll eventually be on the Apple Store. But if you are on an Apple device, you can easily access Ponytown by just typing in pony.town on your web browser, and it will literally bring you right to the game. All you have to do is sign up or sign in, and you're good to go. So again, if you want to install it, here's the original, real, super legit version that is by Ponytown team. Contains no ads. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope this was informative, and I hope this helped you all. Feel free to download the app if you want to, but try to download the right one. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, if you did, please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and doing all of those wonderful things like that. Because when you do wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.